Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. My only motivation. Cowboys Dak Prescott reveals goal after signing $240 million contract. What a day to begin the new NFL season for the Dallas Cowboys. First, Dak Prescott agreed to a new 4-year, $240 million deal, and then the Cowboys curb-stomped the Cleveland Browns 33-17 in their own stadium. With many unsure if Dak would get his deal before Week 1 and what that could mean, Number 4 put figurative pen to paper in the morning, the agreement coming right at 11 a.m. before taking the field against the Browns. And Dak played like he was mentally free from distractions. In the first half, when the game was up for grabs, Dak completed 14 of his 21 passes for 156 yards and a delightful touchdown pass to Brandon Cooks in the face of an all-out blitz. He also orchestrated a 10-play and 13-play touchdown drive in a superb first half of football. And now that his future is sorted, he's focused on upholding his end of that deal. That's my only motivation to hold up my part of this deal and just deliver that, Prescott said. That's what is at the forefront of my mind, not the money. It's about holding up my end of the deal and it's winning, and I want to do it here. To be clear, Dak holding up his end of the deal is delivering something that has eluded the franchise for nearly 30 years, a Super Bowl triumph. While some will always find something to pick at with Dak, there can be no denying that the Cowboys' best chance of ending their NFC Championship and Super Bowl drought is with Number 4 under center. Argue amongst yourselves on that. Yes, Dallas' win over Cleveland capped off a superb day for the organization, but now it must be built on with the New Orleans Saints, who just dropped 47 points on the Carolina Panthers coming to AT&T Stadium. So Prescott is undoubtedly happy with his new contract, but he knows he must do his part in the transaction and deliver a Super Bowl to Dallas. And the long road to achieving that has begun, with one short but dominating step against the Browns. Better late than never? We had to wait, suffer, 238 long days between the Cowboys' embarrassing playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers and Sunday's kickoff in Cleveland. All that patience was rewarded with that start? The Cowboys' first play was a holding penalty on receiver Jalen Tolbert, followed by a sack of Dak Prescott when Dalvin Tomlinson beat future Hall of Fame guard Zach Martin. Dallas was down, 3-0, 5:27 into the game. It got much better. Very quickly. Dazzling debuts, sure, the Cowboys have had devastating ends to recent seasons. But maybe we can crown them Week 1 champions? Last year they embarrassed the New York Giants in the opener, 40-0. Combined with the 16-point obliteration, Cleveland scored a garbage touchdown with 29 remaining, make it a 73-17 edge in the last two season openers. Since 1999, in Week 1 openers, the Browns are a league worst, and almost unbelievable, 3-22-1. Ezekiel Elliott makes Cowboys fans eat crow with excellent game versus Browns. The Dallas Cowboys overcame a sluggish start in the first quarter and have now scored 20 unanswered points against the Cleveland Browns. Dak Prescott has picked up right where he left off last regular season, and CeeDee Lamb is in all-pro form, despite returning to practice less than 2 weeks ago. While there was some concern that Prescott and Lamb would show some rust against a stingy Browns defense, is it really that surprising they are performing at a high level? Absolutely not. That's what great players do. While Prescott, Lamb and Micah Parsons, who took over the game in the second quarter, have stolen the show, the story of the game thus far has been none other than Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, you read that correctly. Donning number 15 in his second stint with the Cowboys, Elliott has performed markedly better than what fans expected. He capped a strong first half with a short touchdown run to give Dallas a 14-3 lead. On top of the touchdown, Elliott totaled 44 yards from scrimmage in the first half on 9 touches, 8 carries, 1 catch. The veteran RB proved early on that he was going to have a good day, as he hurdled Browns cornerback Denzel Ward on the first play from scrimmage. The run was called back due to a holding penalty, but Zeke looked more spry than what was led on throughout the summer. You wouldn't expect Spry and Elliott to feature in the same sentence in the year 2024, but we are merely listening to what our eyes are telling us. The two-time rushing champ has made several tacklers miss, and he had an excellent blitz pickup to save Prescott from a would-be sack. Elliott's touchdown was only a 3-yard run, but the Cowboys struggled mightily last season running in the red zone. Among 49 running backs who had at least 100 carries, Tony Pollard's 6 scores were tied for 17th, per Pro Football Focus, subscription required. Elliott is the more physical back than Pollard, but he is also more adept at bouncing off tackles and falling forward. While the 29-year-old isn't what he once was from an athletic standpoint, his vision and intelligence as a runner are still among the best in the business. One game doesn't mean Zeke will be great all season. However, it is undeniable that he is still an impactful. If he turns in more performances like this, Cowboys fans will be eating crow for dinner a lot over the next 5 months. Maybe the front office knew what it was doing after all. Deshaun Watson continues to suck life out of Cleveland Browns fans in loss to Dallas Cowboys. The offensive tackle situation was bad. Beyond the mess at left tackle, second-year right tackle DeJuan Jones played the worst game of his career. The cast of receiving threats, including Pro Bowlers Amari Cooper and David Njoku, looked ordinary with their share of drops. But while those issues were indeed valid as the Cleveland Browns offense looked helpless against the Dallas Cowboys, the focus of the criticism is once again on the supposed franchise quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Kevin Stefanski isn't going to bench him, nor should he, but Watson had yet another embarrassing performance to start out his 3rd season as the Browns' signal caller. Both the organization and the fan base are tired of waiting. Worse for Watson, so are his teammates. The lack of preseason snaps or alleged rust can't be used as an excuse. Plenty of teams played preseason and looked terrible in Week 1, and plenty didn't and won. Likewise, no one wants to hear Watson say he's a slow starter. They don't care. They want to win games, and the Browns and Watson looked helpless against a playoff-caliber opponent at home. Watson was consistently off target, often short-hopping passes to receivers underneath. Deep, he was overthrowing his targets, with a number of passes sailing out of bounds, leaving receivers with no chance to make a play. Some accurate throws were peppered in, but nothing resembling predictability or consistency. And a number of those off-target throws were on schedule. He just missed. It's becoming more difficult to argue he's ever going to be an effective quarterback, but he's such an unpleasant viewing experience that no one wants to put forth the effort. Initially, Watson started out managing the game. Even though he wasn't moving the ball, partly because of untimely penalties, he was letting the game come to him. That was fine. Trusting his teammates and the defense while settling into the game flow. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Deshaun Watson? Leave your opinion in the comments.